Imagine for a moment that the story you've always heard is just a small part of something much bigger, that there are hidden meanings in Jesus's words, secret messages that people have missed, misunderstood, or even hidden on purpose. What if you found out that Jesus's real message wasn't just about believing and being saved, but about a deeper kind of wisdom, one that explains the universe and the human soul? This truth is so powerful, it can completely change how you see the world and your connection with something greater. Today, we're going to explore Jesus's secret teachings, the ones found in old texts not included in the Bible, like Gnostic writings and ancient spiritual traditions that most people have never heard of. And what's amazing is that when we really understand these teachings, our whole view of life can change. By the end of this journey, I'll share the deepest teaching of all, something that could change your life in ways you never thought possible. People have always seen Jesus as a symbol of love, kindness, and sacrifice. But there's also a much deeper message in what he said, something that goes beyond regular religious teachings. In many spiritual paths, Jesus isn't just seen as a good person or teacher, but as someone who understood the biggest mysteries of life and the universe. His words hold deep truths that thinkers and spiritual seekers have studied for hundreds of years. To really get these hidden teachings, we need to ask why certain writings about Jesus were left out of the official Bible. In the early days of Christianity, many different writings were shared among his followers. Some of them had ideas that questioned those in charge and talked more about personal growth and inner freedom. Over time, people in power chose which writings would be accepted and which would be ignored. One of the most powerful of these is the Gospel of Thomas. It includes sayings of Jesus that are much deeper and more spiritual than what we usually hear. In this Gospel, Jesus talks less about belief and more about knowing yourself. One of his strongest quotes is, "If you bring out what's inside you, what's inside will save you. If you don't bring it out, it will destroy you." What does this mean? Jesus is telling us that we all carry something sacred inside, a bit of the divine. If we connect with it, it can free us. But if we ignore that inner part, and let our lives be ruled by outside things, like fear or beliefs pushed on us, then we stay stuck in pain and confusion. This teaching matches what many old traditions also said. In Hermetic teachings, there's a saying, "As above, so below, as within, so without." It means the path to truth isn't outside of us, it's inside. Jesus told his followers that the kingdom of God isn't a faraway place in the sky. It's something we can reach here and now, if we truly seek it. Another key part of Jesus's hidden message is about letting go of the ego. During his life, Jesus often spoke in stories. Many of them were meant to help people break free from the false identity we build around labels, roles, and material things. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus said, "Whoever wants to save their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." This doesn't just mean giving up your life. It's about letting go of who you think you are, your titles, your status, the mask you wear, so you can discover your real self. Only when we do that can we find the Christ-like spirit that lives in all of us. The Gnostics, who were early Christians, believed this. They were often punished for their beliefs. For them, true knowledge, what they called gnosis, was the way to be saved. They thought Jesus didn't just come to save people, but to help them wake up to the divine part inside themselves. Gnostic writings say that Jesus shared deeper teachings with his closest followers, things he didn't say to the crowds, because only those who were ready could understand. But why hide this knowledge? Because people who truly understand themselves can't be controlled. Religious and political powers have always tried to keep people thinking a certain way. Jesus's message of spiritual freedom was dangerous to those systems. Do you really think Jesus's message is just what we've always been told? Or could there be something deeper, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are ready to find it? Most people only know Jesus through the Bible stories. But they don't often hear that Jesus didn't appear out of nowhere. His ideas were rooted in older spiritual wisdom, like the teachings of the Essenes, Egyptian traditions, and ideas from the East. The Essenes were a group of spiritual people who lived quietly near the Dead Sea. They focused on clean living, meditation, and knowing themselves. It's well known that John the Baptist, who helped prepare people for Jesus, was connected to them. The Essenes believed in becoming spiritually awake through discipline and connecting with the divine within. That sounds a lot like when Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you." And there's more. Some researchers believe that Jesus may have traveled during his younger years and learned from other spiritual paths. In India, there are old stories about a teacher named Isa, who many think was Jesus. These stories say he spent time with Buddhist monks, learning about kindness, meditation, and how the physical world is an illusion. This ties in with what Jesus later taught. He didn't just preach love and faith, he also spoke about letting go of material things and waking up spiritually. This is very close to what Buddha taught long before, about how the ego is an illusion and how we need to rise above suffering to become truly awake. And in ancient Egypt, the Hermetic tradition taught that everything in the universe comes from the mind, that the outside world reflects what's inside us. Jesus shared a similar idea in his own way when he said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believing, you will receive." He wasn't talking about blind faith, but a deeper truth, that our thoughts and spirit can shape our reality. Jesus used stories, and many of them hid deep meanings. Only people who were ready could truly understand them. In India, some old writings talk about a teacher named Isa, who many think was Jesus. These texts say Isa lived for a while with Buddhist monks and learned from them about kindness, meditation, and how the material world is just an illusion. This is where things start to connect. Jesus didn't just talk about love and faith. He also spoke about letting go of material attachments and waking up to our true self. This idea is very close to what Buddha taught long before. He spoke about how the ego isn't real and how we can overcome suffering by becoming enlightened. In ancient Egypt, Hermetic teachings said that everything begins in the mind, that the world we see is just a reflection of what's inside us. Jesus shared a similar idea in his own way when he said, "If you believe when you pray, you will receive what you ask for." He wasn't just talking about hope. He meant that our thoughts and spirit can shape our reality. Jesus often used stories to teach, and many of them had deeper meanings that only those truly ready could understand. One story is the parable of the sower. In it, a man plants seeds. Some land in good soil and grow well. Others fall on rocky ground and don't grow. At first, it sounds like a lesson about faith. But if we look deeper, it's about how our mind receives truth. The seeds are knowledge, and the soil is our mind. If our mind is closed, truth can't take root. But if we are open, that knowledge can grow and change us. Think about when Jesus said, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will open." This isn't just about prayer. It's a message that we have to actively search for truth. Jesus taught that wisdom won't just come to us. We have to really want it, and work to understand it. But not everyone is ready. In Matthew's Gospel, Jesus says, "Don't give what is holy to dogs or throw pearls to pigs." He wasn't insulting people. He was warning that deep truths only make sense to those who are ready. Sharing them too soon can cause confusion or rejection. Over time, many great spiritual teachers were misunderstood or silenced. The same happened to Jesus. His message shook the system because he taught that real power is inside every person, not in buildings or religious leaders. He didn't come to start a new religion. He came to help people wake up to who they really are. And when someone brings such a strong message into the world, it challenges those in control. It's not a surprise that the leaders of his time saw him as a threat. He wasn't just another speaker, he was someone showing people how to break free from fear and control. Think about it. How often has truth been hidden in history? How many books were banned? How many teachers were stopped? And still, truth always finds a way. Jesus said the real awakening comes from inside, not from following rules or traditions without thinking. If we look closely at his words, we see something deeper, a message that has often been changed or misunderstood. Jesus didn't just talk about kindness and belief. He also spoke about a hidden strength that lives inside each of us. He didn't only come to save people. He came to guide them toward true spiritual awareness, a path many still don't fully understand. Jesus used stories, images, and symbols that confused many. In the Gospel of Mark, his followers asked why he didn't speak clearly. He said, "You are allowed to know the secrets of the kingdom of God. But to others, I speak in parables." Why did Jesus do this? Because real wisdom can't be forced on someone. It has to be found by those who are truly searching. People who aren't ready will either laugh at it, ignore it, or twist it. But those with open minds and hearts will see it clearly. Now we reach the most important part of all. Jesus once said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." What kind of truth did he mean? Many say it means following what he taught. But there's something deeper. He was talking about a truth that can set us free from pain, fear, and the lie that we are separate from the divine. To see this, look at another powerful statement he made, "I and the Father are one." This is in the Gospel of John and is one of the most misunderstood verses. Jesus wasn't saying people should worship themselves. He meant that each person has a bit of the divine inside them, a direct link to the source of everything. This isn't just a Christian idea. In many ancient teachings, it said that humans reflect the divine. In India, Vedanta philosophy says the soul and the supreme reality are the same. Hermetic teachings say that God is mind, and the universe is shaped by thought. All of these ideas point to the same truth: God is not far away. God is within us. Jesus gave another clue when he said, "The kingdom of God won't come with signs you can see." People won't say, "Here it is" or "There it is," because the kingdom of God is within you. For a long time, religions have taught that we reach God's kingdom after we die. But Jesus said the opposite. He said the kingdom isn't a far-off place, it's a state of awareness we can reach now. That's one reason his words were seen as dangerous by those in power. If people realized that they didn't need temples or leaders to find God, they wouldn't rely on others to connect with the divine. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, "When you make the two one, and the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside, then you will enter the kingdom." This saying has deep spiritual meaning. Jesus is talking about balance, bringing together body and soul, the physical and the spiritual, our conscious and unconscious minds. This is like what old alchemists believed. They weren't just trying to turn metal into gold, they were talking about an inner change, a journey to wisdom. In Kabbalah, there's the idea of restoring the soul's balance. And in Taoism, harmony between yin and yang is the goal. So, if Jesus knew all this wisdom, why was he punished? The answer is simple. His message was a threat to the old beliefs and the power of religious leaders. Jesus taught that divine power isn't just for a chosen few, it belongs to everyone. And when someone shares knowledge that can help people break free from control, they naturally become a threat to those who want to keep that control. But Jesus didn't keep these teachings only for the people around him at the time. He meant them for anyone in the future who would be ready to understand. His message still speaks to us today. We've looked at how he spoke of waking up spiritually, finding the divine within, and discovering that the kingdom of God is already inside each person. But now we come to the most important part, an insight so strong that it was hidden, misunderstood, and changed over time so only a few could see its full meaning. Before we reveal this, remember one of Jesus's most puzzling lines: "Whoever tries to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it." At first, this sounds like he's talking about dying for a cause. But it actually means something deeper. He was talking about going beyond the ego, letting go of the false identity we cling to, which causes pain and keeps us feeling separate. This is the heart of many deep spiritual paths. It's the idea of letting the false self die so the real self can be reborn. You see the same idea in Buddhism, where they say enlightenment comes only after dropping the ego. And in spiritual alchemy, death doesn't mean the end, it means a change, a purification of the soul. Jesus went through this too. His crucifixion and resurrection weren't just events in history, they were symbols. The cross shows the death of the ego and the letting go of worldly attachments. Rising again stands for waking up fully, becoming one with the divine. He didn't just teach this, he lived it. And for those who paid close attention, he left signs to help them understand. In the Gospel of Thomas, he says something powerful: if you bring out what is inside you, it will save you. But if you don't, it will destroy you. This is the final message. The truth is, awakening doesn't come from the outside. It starts inside. It's not about obeying rules, waiting for someone else to save us, or dreaming of some paradise in the future. It's about finding the treasure that's already within, waking up the divine light we've forgotten. So why was this truth hidden? Because it challenges the systems built on control. It says that every person already has the power to connect with the divine directly. No need for go-betweens. Jesus didn't come to build a religion, he came to show a way to be free. So let me ask you, are you ready for that kind of awakening? Because just knowing these things isn't enough. Knowing the kingdom of God is inside you won't change anything unless you act on it. Real wisdom isn't just learning, it's about changing who you are. Jesus didn't just speak truth, he lived it, step by step. And that's the invitation he gives us. Don't just hear it, feel it. Don't just believe it, live it. If you truly want to experience this change, start by looking inside. Ask yourself, where in my life am I acting out of fear instead of love? What beliefs still hold me back? Am I living as my real self, or just playing a role shaped by others? And always remember what Jesus said, you will do even greater things than these. He didn't come to show off his powers. He came to show what we're all capable of once we wake up to who we really are. The final truth is this: the kingdom of God isn't a place we go to after we die. It's a state of awareness we can step into right now. Nothing is really stopping us from being close to the divine, except the walls we've built ourselves. And when we tear down those walls, stop chasing things outside, and turn inward, then and only then will we find the truth that truly sets us free.